You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, hello, good evening and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. My name is Squatter and this is podcast number 56, opening you up there with one of our most hotly anticipated Bloodstock 2019 bands there, Children of Bodom. That was a track called Under Grass and Clover, and it's from their upcoming album Hexed, which is going to be released on March the 8th via Nuclear Blast Records. And judging by the reaction when they were announced, I'm sure that there will be a lot of you out there waiting to check them out when they play on the main stage on the Friday of Bloodstock 2019 in a UK exclusive performance. And if you don't want to miss that and you haven't yet got your Bloodstock tickets, then don't forget that both standard and VIP tickets are still on sale as it stands. And we've got together with C Tickets to offer you all a deposit scheme for your standard weekend tickets. That allows you to spread the cost of paying for your tickets over several months with 5 payments of just £29 a month, excluding a £7 booking fee and your postage. And that's available until the end of February. So whenever you're ready to buy your tickets, you can click through from any of the links you see alongside this podcast. But don't go scurrying off to buy your tickets just yet, because we've still got plenty to get through tonight, including music from 2 more bands who've been announced for Bloodstock 2019, and an extensive interview with a band who played Bloodstock a few years ago, and last year actually had their album enter the official UK album charts at number 16. That is Massive Wagons, and they are coming up straight after this. A quick Metal to the Masses roundup right here on Bloodstock Radio.
Metal to the Masses update.
Hey there, metalheads of all shapes and sizes. Elliot here from Metal to the Masses Bristol with an update on what went down at a packed-out venue for our first heat of this year's competition. Congratulations to both Trep and Noir who booked their places in the semi-finals, and commiserations to Ravello Drive and Next Stop Olympus who didn't quite make it themselves. Our next heat will be on Wednesday, February 13th at the Exchange on Old Market Street. Find out more info on our Facebook page and come down to support the best of the Southwest. See you soon, and remember to stay heavy. Oh yeah!
This is Steve from the South Wales Metal to the Masses. Heats are kicking off at Fuel Rock Club in Cardiff on the 15th of February through to the final on the 8th of June. Check the South Wales Metal to the Masses Facebook page for details. Good luck to all the bands.
The big interview.
Okay, so next up on Bloodstock Radio, I'm going to catch up with my old mate from Massive Wagons. It's Barry Mills, the lead singer. How are you, Baz? You all right, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, nice to talk to you.
Been a while. Again. Been a while.
It has been a while, mate. Yeah.
Thought I'd just have a catch up, see how you're doing in that lot, because obviously you had quite a big year last year for the band 2018.
It's strange. It takes such a long time to get anywhere with the band, and you start a lot of bands. You start to lose faith, and then we found ourselves. It just sparked. Something happened. The earache thing happened, and then it just all in within a year. There's more happened within a year than there has over the last sort of 6 or 7 years. You know, it's absolutely crazy. It's really great. It's really great to get to work with a label like Earache, who have a plan and you have faith. They know exactly what they're doing, and they tell you to do something, and you do it, and it works. You know, and it's watching the things come. The things come of what they tell you to do and the things they put in place. It's really satisfying, and it's just great, and it makes us excited for the next album as well. You know, because it's in good hands. You know.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the sort of signed, unsigned thing in a bit. Because I want to discuss that with you, because obviously a lot of bands, it's quite a big decision for bands, really, isn't it? So,
yeah, of course, yeah, no worries, yeah.
But yeah, so if we just obviously we are Bloodstock Radio, so we'll rewind a little bit to when you played Bloodstock in back in 2014, as I recall.
2014, yeah.
So what
that's
are your memories of that?
Yeah, well, for a band to get on, be given the nod to say you're playing a festival like that is beyond exciting, you know, especially if it's the first big festival we ever played, really, you know, multiple thousands of people. The first one, and I remember being, you're just buzzing. You're absolutely buzzing. We'd been going, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 years, I think, when that came. And that is just super excitement. It's just beyond words, and it's amazing, yeah. And I remember it being, we had no idea what to expect, the Jaeger stage, and we've been Googling it, YouTube pictures and YouTube videos of it and stuff, and you try and imagine what it's going to be like, and it was awesome. It was only a small stage, only small, but the crowd, I think we landed quite lucky, really, because we went on just as a band on the main stage were coming off, and I don't think there was much going on in the second stage. So we got a fair old whack of people, and I think if you're going down well, once you've got them, you've sort of got them, because they didn't leave. More people kept adding to the back of the crowd, and yeah, it was a much bigger crowd than I thought we would have anyway, and it was fantastic. And to be honest, it was actually where the earache thing started for us, because earache were there. Earache saw us at Bloodstock, as he's mentioned a few times, Digby, and he said that's where he first saw us at, and sort of sparked his interest, which is great.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I was there.
Nice.
I was there in the crowd because I've been telling everyone to go and see you, because I think let me think. You guys have been going 10 years now, isn't it? This year.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the 10th anniversary.
So
2009. Yeah.
So I think 2013. I think the first time I saw you around about May. So by the time Bloodstock 2014 came around, I sort of, I'm telling, you got to go and see this band.
You were an old hand,
and it was busy. It was, it was really good, and I wasn't really sure, because obviously, Bloodstock's a sort of a heavier sort of festival. I wasn't really sure how you were going to go down. And
no, me neither.
But I thought it worked really well as well.
Yeah, I think we're quite lucky as a band, because we do. We've never pigeonholed ourselves with music. So I mean, we write sort of all sorts, just what we like. I mean, if we want to put, I know it's not heavy in this compared to some bands, crikey, but we can certainly put a heavier set together if you want, or if we're playing something else, if we want to, we can put an AO Aria set together, something a bit more sing along. We do have heavier songs. I think at the time we were writing music that was a bit heavier than what we write now. Sort of gone away from that a little bit, but no, yeah, it was Well, I think we played Red Dress. I think we were all crapping ourselves. We were going to get on something, but everyone was bang into it. It was great. I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it's attitude. If you give the right attitude and you mean what you're doing, then they love it. They're there for all sorts, aren't they? At festivals, you're there to experience anything.
A lot of people say that on the Jaeger stage, because you said about the timing of it. It's deliberate. Basically the Jaeger stage is in between the main stage act. So basically, as soon as they finish, you go on in between.
You're on.
So you do get a lot of passing traffic from people that have just watched the main stage, and it's in the main arena there, and you do get a lot of passing trade. So a lot of bands that sort of think, we're on the Jaeger stage, and that haven't been to Bloodstock might think, it's only the fourth stage.
It's out the way,
probably tucked away, but it's not. It's right there in the arena.
It's right between them, isn't it? It's right between the first and second stage. People have to walk past it to get to either. Right. It's great.
So I remember you falling off the monitor, of course. As you always.
You got the memory,
at that stage. I remember. I think it was that year I saw you when you fell off the stage at Rebellion in Manchester as well. And it was just one of those things that you were. I think it was part of your act at the time, where you just, standing on a monitor and just toppled off into the crowd,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you get a bit carried away, get too into it, really.
Anyone that's seen you live, Barry, will definitely agree that you definitely give it your all, mate. So.
You got to let yourself go, haven't you?
Yeah, indeed.
It's good.
So obviously we've had a few years since that, and now we've had a couple of albums out since then as well, in between that. But obviously coming up to Full Nelson, you mentioned about signing with Earache and that. So just returning to that signed versus unsigned thing. Obviously you're very happy with the way it is. You mentioned there about a plan and about having that sort of industry experience that you go with. But I've always sort of wondered, bands have often been a little bit wary. I know bands that have had offer and they're just sort of thinking, they wanted to sort of cramp our style a little bit much, and they wanted to take us in directions we didn't want to go. Do you find it's more of a two-way conversation, or do you just basically take that on board and just say, well, they know what they're doing, so we'll go with that, and it's working out so far?
Yeah, it's odd. I mean, they certainly don't try and steer us in. They're not in any way sort of overseeing things. You know what I mean? They're not forceful, or they don't say, "Oh, no, we don't. We're not having that. No, you're not doing that." There's none of that. They have their input, and I appreciate their input, and I like it. I take it on board. If we don't like it, then we'll say, "No, I don't like that," or we're not doing that. We ultimately do what we like.
Yeah.
But I welcome it. I welcome their input and their criticisms and their thoughts and ideas and stuff. And I give them a whirl, or we talk about them, or whatever. At the end of the day, it's ultimately down to us what we do. But no. I mean, I can see that. I can see that from bands' points of view. I mean, we were at a stage when we signed with Earache. We were at a stage where the Off Your Rocker. We were there with them for 2 albums, and that had finished that contract. And we've always wanted to be on a bit of an upward trajectory, and we never wanted to sort of tread water or anything. And we didn't. I didn't really want to sign with Off Your Rocker again, because it was kind of been more of the same. As good as it was, and I'm glad we did it, and I would never change anything about that part of things. I wanted to get on, it's because it takes a lot of time up from your family, and it's a lot of effort. And then the Earache thing came along at the right time, because, to be honest, the other option was to self-release it, and I don't know whether that would have been the right idea. We were umming and ahhing, and we talked about stopping altogether, really. Stopping the band, because we don't know if we were going to go, if it was going to go much further, because we really want to be in it to go as far as it can go and stop when it stops going up. And then the earache thing came along. We thought, well, what have we got to lose here? Let's give it a go, man. It's what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
We don't carry on.
Yeah.
We're talking about not carrying on anyway, so we might as well.
It's interesting that you were in that scene, because it is hard for a lot of bands, isn't it? I've been doing this since I first met you, up to 2013. Seen so many bands fall along the wayside for whatever reason, the finances or family and all. And obviously since then you've got a family, you've got Terry and Lila now as well, and so you've got that side of things. So you have got a lot of other things to fit in with that lot. So it's interesting to see that you've got this massive success really with the album, and yet it might not have come around.
No, it might not. We might well have stopped, to be honest. I mean, yeah. But we thought, we're aware of what everybody's thoughts are on labels, and we thought, we'll just go for it. We'll just go for it. Just say, at least it's an experience. Just do it. We'll sign with them, and don't get me wrong. We didn't just sign any old contract. It took us. We were rumming and ahhing, and for a good few months, backward to-ing and fro-ing and whatnot. We worked out what we were happy going forward with, and that's it. I mean, I do get that bands might not want to go with a label, and that's up to them and whatever. But all the deals are different to different bands, and you talk to your label and you work out what you do and don't want to do, and if they want to do that or you don't want to do it, and if you like the sound of it, then you go with it. I mean, it's worked out fine it's worked out great for us. I mean, the operation is a lot more professional now, and we have these minds that have been doing it for a long time, and the kings at PR and who to go and see and contacts, and it's I don't know, it's a business side of it, isn't it? That's why we have a manager. We have a manager. I'm lucky enough that Terry's our manager, and she understands it all, and she wants to see it succeed. So she deals with that. She loves dealing with the label. So we just let her get on with that. She loves it, and we get on with what we love doing.
Yeah.
And it's working out so far so good, I think.
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, do you think that maybe it might be working out for you better because you are, I don't know, I don't want to say more sort of accessible, but because most of the bands that obviously we have at Bloodstock and the bands that I follow and that sort of thing are sort of heavier, more extreme stuff like that, and maybe it's that labels are just sort of a little bit less likely to sort of take them on because they are more niche, whereas you've got a much wider ranging appeal. Do you think that's part of it?
I definitely think so, mate. Yeah, I do. I admire bands. I admire bands that. I mean, we've always played. We generally have always played what we love playing, and we love commercial music, and we love big fans of the '90s British rock bands, Terrorvision and the Wild Arts, and all these bands, and they had huge commercials and big catchy songs. We love that, but we love the metal as well. You got to love the bands that hammer away at the some of the genres are. They're a tough nut to succeed in, aren't they? The crikey, it's just not commercial at the moment, is it? Metal. Yeah. And the bands that are doing it and the bands that succeed in that world are really achieving something, I think. But yeah, I do. I think maybe we do definitely have more of a commercial appeal, and maybe we're an easier bag to sell.
You mentioned a few of the older bands there. You've toured with the Wild Hearts before as well, and then you've got another set coming up in Germany with Thunder as well in March and April. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam, our guitar player, he's one of the world's biggest Thunder fan. Yeah, he can't wait for that. Yeah, but they were early '90s, weren't they? Thunder, sort of late '80s, early '90s.
They were the first band I actually saw live because I went to see Aerosmith, and they were supporting Aerosmith at the NEC in November 1994. So they turned out being the first band that I saw, and I seem to remember they had a really cheesy opening where it was like a weather forecast, and it was literally like over Birmingham. There's going to be thunder, and then they come out and it was just like, right, okay.
Oh, God.
So I remember being slightly underawed by that. So, it's great that they're still knocking around and still going. And Germany, have you been to Europe much? I think you've done a few Europe dates, haven't you, before?
We've done a few individual ones, a few odd dates here and there, but again, like we've been around the UK a lot, and and far from it being cracked. There are bigger sort of doors to open in the UK, and hopefully they might one day. But on our level, on the circuit, I think we've done it a lot. We've toured a lot, we've played a lot of the festivals, and you need, I think, as a band to grow and to be able to do it as more of a job. But you need to crack other countries and other territories and things, and certainly Germany, the rock and metal scene in Germany is fantastic, and to be able to go with a band like Thunder for your first time is really lucky, I think, for us, rather than having to go and forge your own path on your own tour, having never been before, and start from scratch to go with a band like Thunder. Hopefully they'll be sold out venues, so we'll be playing to big crowds, and they like the rock and metal, don't they, in Germany? So hopefully that'll be the start of something we can build on and go back again and have a following. I know the album. I know Billy Balloonhead was on. I think it got played on a major station. I think it got playlisted on a German station, I think, which is good. So hopefully there'll be people there for us, I hope.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned the album there, Full Nelson, and I think the biggest thing we can say about that is just that it's weird, really. I've got mixed feelings about it, because at the time when it came into the charts, I was so excited for you guys. I'm just like, I can't believe it's going to be in the charts, and they had the midweek chart came out, and I think you were 12th in the midweek one or something like that. I'm thinking, this is crazy. It's not like the the rock chart or the indie chart. It's the chart, the proper charts. And it was just mind-blowing. It was just like, and the main thing for me was, as I say, I've been doing this about 5 years now, and mates of mine that only really follow the big sort of stadium bands and that lot, they're like, these bands you go and see, I've never heard of them. And it was something to be able to just say, look, they're in the charts, a band that I follow, a band that I know, that I can say hi to and know them, they're in the charts, capital T, capital C, and it was just that. But on the other flip side of it, why should that mean so much to me? The charts don't mean anything to me nowadays, so why should that? And so it's a bit of a mixed bag, really.
I get you. Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? It's odd. I don't pay any attention to the charts. I never have ever. But yeah, it becomes this achievement. As cheesy as it really does sound, for me, it really was. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination we're sort of leading any charge or anything. I like to think we put our time in. And it really was for all the people, I felt really good for you guys and all the guys that slog it out, to finally to get one of us, mixing it with these bigger bands. It's just sort of giving the charts a bloody nose, if you like, Yeah. I felt it was one for the team that we got there, for all of us that have come to watch us and all that, it was.
And the thing about it is, though, it's a bloody cracking album. It's a really good album as well.
Good, Paul. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah,
well, it's got a good mix of stuff on it. I mean, I think some of the early ones. I mean, for example, I played. I went to a New Year's Eve party, and everyone's playing all chart music and all this lot, and I was just like, listen, that's about as you guys are about as heavy as I can sneak into the mix of all the unsigned and emerging bands. You guys are about it. So they had an Alexa thing going. So I'm like, okay, Alexa, play Massive Wagons, Fight the System. So I got that on, and they were like, oh, this is all right, like that. So then I managed to get Ratio on a little bit later, and they were like, oh, yeah, that's all right, that's cool, go with that. I think if I'd said, Alexa, play Sodomized Cadaver, that's probably a bit heavy for people at the party I was at, and I might have got kicked out. So it's nice to have that sort of thing. But I say you have got that accessibility to you, So, but they liked it, and it's that sort of accessibility that you say that'll get you into what you'd call the more mainstream sort of people. But they're like, oh yeah, they're a bit like AC/DC, aren't they? And I'm like, yeah, that's about their limit of their knowledge is fine,
But they like it. People like it, that style of music, but they just won't. They only like what they know. Like you just said, they like Guns N' Roses because they know Guns N' Roses. They like AC/DC because they know AC/DC. But they must like it. They must feel it. They must get that feeling when they listen to AC/DC. You watch people, you bang an AC/DC song on at a party playing chart hits, and you watch everybody start moving to it, and they love it. So they must feel it inside. I just don't think they will give new stuff a fair crack, But when they hear it, they must like it.
Yeah.
you know, yeah, who
Focus
knows?
on a couple of tracks from the album then, because I think I say you've been going 10 years now, not a lot, so you've seen a few changes in the world, not a lot. But I think if I'd, you got China Plates about social media, you're
Yeah.
writing songs about like sort of everyday sort of things. So Last on the List, I mean, if you'd have told you 10 years ago you'd be writing a song like Last on the List about religious philosophy, pretty much,
Yeah.
you'd have been like, what, really?
I know, yeah. Well, I think, yeah. Well, our first album, Fire It Up, was a real sort of heart on your sleeve sort of a song. I didn't really know anything about songwriting. It was just sort of doing the best I could, really. And it has. I think my songwriting's got a lot better as the years have gone by. But I mean, that's through listening to other songwriters and really focusing and trying to trying to make effort.
You did have Heavy Metal Man on that. You can't, that's a bit of a classic, mate. Come on, I'm having that. Ride the Tiger, man. You got to. It's all good.
I think most of them lyrics are nicked from Dio's back catalogue. I think.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, mate. And then of course you got Verdon Hayes with his skydiving old bloke versus health and safety. I mean,
I know, yeah.
Again, who's writing songs about health and safety nowadays? Nobody, but Massive Wagons.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Where does it come from, eh? I'm
going to guess your health and safety is probably because of your day job, isn't it? Is that where you?
Yeah, well, possibly, yeah. It could be, yeah.
Frustration with you're in construction, aren't you? And that, so you've probably got a load of that going on. But yeah, again,
you're probably not far off there.
Yeah, just those though. I think the juxtaposition of a 100-year-old bloke doing a skydive on his birthday and a song about health and safety at the same time is just that's definitely, your songwriting has definitely improved. I think
it's unique, isn't it? It's unique.
It is.
We're meeting him actually. He's coming to the Bristol gig on his 103rd birthday.
That's amazing.
I know, and we're going to meet him. I mean, he's got a God. I think when he did the skydive, he was 101.
Yeah.
His son did it, and his grandson. His son's 75, and his
amazing.
grandson is 50 or something.
Yeah.
And all of them did it. All of them did it together.
That's amazing.
Potty.
That is
brilliant.
amazing.
The guy deserves it. I heard him on the radio, and I thought, all this guy needs now is a song, somebody to write a song about him, and he's done it all, because the things he's done in his life, the DJ and all that, and these stories he was going on about.
Yeah.
I thought, wouldn't it be great for actually write a song about somebody and them to hear it before they before they're gone? Don't write it in 10 years about him. We'll write it now for him.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask actually if he was aware of it, but obviously if he's coming to the gig, then he must be. He must be happy with that then.
There's a thought.
A great thing for you, isn't it? Really, you get a song written about you.
Oh yeah, well, I thought that'd be, I thought it would be a novelty for him. I thought he'd dig that. I thought he sounds like he's done everything else in his life. All he needs is a song now. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have a listen to that. We'll have a bit of a break.
All right.
So this is the Ballad of Verdon Hayes, and it's Massive Wagons, and it's on Full Nelson. So let's have a listen to that.
Everybody riot, control yourselves. Everybody riot, sit down, please. Everybody riot, do as you're told. Everybody riot, you're far too old. Verdon Hayes jumps out of the plane. That man's 101, still going strong, does what he wants. He listens to no one, the man's a machine. Leaning, he gives me 1,000 lives. Section 3 stipulates no fun at all times. We're not here to ruin your party, just here to make sure you're alright.
Okay, that was the Ballad of Verdun Hayes by Massive Wagons there. So yeah, that's a great tribute to him, that, and yeah, a fun song.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So another song on the album that obviously got a lot of attention was your tribute to Rick Parfitt with Back to the Stack. Yeah,
that was mad. That, I mean, I was only talking to Terry, our manager, the other day, and it kind of doesn't go away, that song. It keeps reappearing, and people commenting and messaging about it, and it seems to have become, it's an absolute honour that it seems to have become like his official sort of tribute song. At the time we wrote it, we just wrote it as our tribute to him, as a song we wanted to write about him, for him, and it's just gained so much momentum, and the fan clubs, all the stuff online, the Facebook groups online, and they're all just mad for this song, and it's played on the radio repeatedly, and it's known as the Rick. I just hear people on the radio say, "Oh, this is the Rick Parfitt tribute." It's like, wow, this is amazing. And his son Rick Jr. He's contacted us a few times, and he contacted us a few months ago. Actually, he races for a living. Races a Bentley, like a touring car. He said he listens to the song before he goes racing, which is lovely to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And his mum, Rick Parfitt's second wife, contacted us as well and said how much she loved it and thank you very much for writing it. So that sort of thing just means the world, really.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Because obviously you're just writing about what you know. You like the guy, you follow the club, but obviously the Quo are huge, massive. So obviously it will filter around to all those groups and that lot, and you'll get some, you get some new fans out of it. So it's two for the price of one.
Two for the price of one, yeah. Being a Northerner, we love that.
Yeah. Cool, excellent. Well, you mentioned your tour dates there as well, and so you've got Mr. Hayes going to the Bristol one. When you come back from Germany with Thunder, you got some UK dates, and you're all over the place. You got Dover, you got Bristol, Birmingham, up to Glasgow and Manchester and Sheffield, and all over the gaff really. So hopefully people will be able to get out and see you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We sort of did a small tour after the album. It's tough because we all still work full time. So the first set of dates after the album was out, we didn't have that many holidays. We're restricted by our holidays, you see. So we did what we could, but now things are a lot easier. We've actually my last day at work today, so I've got something lined up that's a lot more flexible, so we can apply ourselves with the band a lot more and do more tours, and we could book more dates in, and be a lot more flexible. But I'm really looking forward to it. There's a few places there we've never been. Dover, we've never been there, and these venues. We've always been of the opinion that, again, when you go in and when you're trying to get yourself go up on the upward trajectory there, to push yourself and try and sell out bigger venues. These are the biggest venues I think we've played in. I think Glasgow's 600 people. Yeah. And we're just going for it. We're just trying to be brave about it and just say, why not? We'll book these venues and hopefully the momentum we've got and people will come. And I know a few of them are sold out and a couple of them are very close to selling out. So yeah, we're just over the moon, really. People, the shows have been great. The ones we did at the end of last year was just amazing. We did the Queen's Hall at Nuneaton, and that was absolutely bouncing.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's the first place I saw you. That was it. That was where it was.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't been back there for ages. They seem to put a lot of cover bands on now, a lot of tribute bands and stuff like that.
A lot of places do, don't they?
Yeah,
but it was rammed. It was absolutely rammed. It was bouncing. It was amazing. It was one of the best gigs of the year, without a doubt. It was fantastic. So hopefully there's more to come of that.
Yeah.
I hope anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of those dates, then you're back at the Primordial AGM. So I think that's the last time I saw you last year at the Primordial AGM.
Yeah.
Actually. So back there with a double headline show with Evil Scarecrow, and you're playing the whole album in full as well, full Nelson.
Yeah, well, we've played it all the way through in practice a few times. But there's a few of the songs there we've never played.
Yeah,
but yeah, that'll be yes, that'll be great. That'll be great to do that. And you see, Evil Scarecrow were going when we started, and they played a lot of the. They were a much bigger band than us. They were the bigger band on the circuit, playing a lot of the venues we played when we started out. We always, I know we're nothing like those guys in terms of music, but we always looked up to those guys because they always had the same work ethic. They were always, they just played everywhere and worked really, really hard at what they did, and we really admired what they did. So they were a bit of an inspiration for us, Scarecrow, really.
Yeah.
And I know them now, and we've seen them loads of times, and to do a co-headline thing with them guys is going to be great, and for Primordial, it's just going to be amazing that weekend. It's going to be amazing, guaranteed.
Yeah, well, we spoke to them recently. I always because Evil Scarecrow are almost like the house band at Bloodstock. We have them on quite a lot. But again, Matt says, they just write what they know. It's just fun. It's just stuff that makes them laugh. It's they don't do, but no ego, no direction as to try to what will be popular. It's just stuff that we like, and I think similar with Wagons as well. It's a similar ethic where you just write what you know, and it's music you like. So hopefully other people will like it as well.
Yeah, I think if you're writing and singing what's inside you, what's honest, then it comes out. People know that. If it's contrived in any way, that you can't fool music lovers, especially not rock fans. I don't think. They can see right through you. So if you mean what you're doing, then they'll either love you or hate you.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Primordial Radio. Primordial have sort of latched onto you guys, and they've got a few bands that I think that they're really very, very supportive of. And obviously you played the AGM there last year and that lot, and now I'm in the Primordial chat groups and all that all the time, and they're always just sort of, as soon as Wagons Dates comes out, anyone going to Wagon, they have the Primordial Radio meetups and stuff like that as well. So it's great that for a new radio station that's just up and coming and that they're starting to get hook in with these bands, and that you guys are probably feeling that as well.
They're an absolute revelation. They're amazing. We've been aware of Dewsbury for a long, long time. When he was on radio in Manchester, he was the rock guy. The big name.
That's where I first listened to him on the 106 and the Rock XL.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. He'd seen us before, and we'd sort of always tried to catch his eye. He's the sort of guy we need to sort of get on board with here. And we'd met him quite a few times, and he'd seen one or two of our shows. But to finally sort of make a connection with the guy, and Moose and Pete, and Shorty, it's just great. And this, what they're doing is amazing. I think it's totally unique, and it's the amount of gigs. Yeah, we played, and it's the squid t-shirts there. It's just like you can see that blue thing a mile away. Even in a sea of black t-shirts, you can spot them a mile away, and they're always down the front at gigs. It's just great crowd.
No, I love it. I'm loving what they're doing. So I've been on board with it since the first minute of it, really, and I'm open to because we got no rivalry with them. But we're Bloodstock Radio, but we're not a radio station, and they're very supportive of Bloodstock. They all come to Bloodstock in their numbers and all that sort of thing. So I'm open to
that's great.
Do a little bit more with them and push them a little bit more this year, because I think it's great what they're doing. So so Primordial AGM April 27th in Lincoln, and that'll be a drinking in Lincoln. So
drinking in Lincoln, round 2.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. So I'll tell you what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that mural. So how did that mural come about? Because I know it caused a lot of controversy as well. But
it did,
So who came up with the idea of that? Where was it first suggested? And how did it come about?
Well, we had been thinking of ways to PR the album. What can we do? What can we do that's unique? We banded around a few PR stunts. We had this list of ideas of things we could do to get a bit of notice. It was actually Earache that said, "What about this? We come up with this idea years ago, and we've never been able to find anywhere that we could do it." would we get one of these like the big street artists, the mural you see in the cities, the big artist pieces.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I love that. I love that idea. I love it. Where can we get it done? Where can we get it done? And then they said, well, if you can think of anywhere in your area, then give us a shout and we'll contact the council and we'll see what we can do. Brilliant. So I'm driving around the one-way system in Lancaster, and crikey, the pub, the place that we always played and drank years ago and watched bands weekend after weekend. The building next door had been knocked down and exposed this massive gable end. It's right on the one-way system in Lancaster. I'm like, that couldn't be any more perfect. So we contacted the Deb and Kev that run the pub to find out if they own the building. You see, we own it. This is our building. Yeah. Great. We don't even need to ask the council. We'll just pay. They said, can we paint? Yeah, of course you can. No problem. Brilliant. So we got some artists from Nottingham to come up, hired a scissor lift, and they painted it in a day and a half or something. Amazing. And it was up for about a week, and like there's a lot of people in Lancaster from that area, Lancaster, and a lot of people didn't know who we were. But it started appearing on social media in the local Lancaster groups. What's this? What's this mean? Where's this come from? I like it. I don't know what it is though. The Yellow Massive Wagons. What does that mean? and word starts getting around. Right, Bando, I like it. It's a bit of colour in the city. There's nothing like that in Lancaster. It's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. Blah blah. And then the next minute, the pub got in contact with us, and the council somebody had driven past it, and I understand. They said it's an advert, which it kind of wasn't. It wasn't really.
Yeah.
But they said get it down. They just sent a letter, said get it down by the end of the month, or it'll go to court. And it's like, it's a bit. There was no inquiry about it. There was no what is it? Where's it from? What does it mean? Who wrote? What's it there for? It was just 3 or 4 lines on a sheet of paper. Get it down. It's an advert, or we'll go to court. Well, somebody online, it got put on in this group. They all went bananas. It went crazy. And anybody likes an opportunity to wave the fist at the council, don't they? So yeah, that was it. Like they let them have it, both barrels, and it got this. Somebody started this petition and got about 8,000, 10,000 vote signatures on it. Crazy. And the council sort of kind of buckled a bit really, and had to wind their neck in.
Yeah, so it's still there.
It's still there, yeah. It's still there. But we had to apply for retrospective planning. But I mean, if we'd have known that in the first place, we would have done that. We weren't trying to be sneaky or anything. Yeah. We weren't trying to go be underhanded. We just thought they own the building. It's their building. They've paid for it. It's their house. They live there. Their pub. We can paint on it without permission. Yeah. Apparently not. But
well, there you go.
There you go. But it's still there.
Listen to other bands if they want to do that. Then you've paved the way for them. But yeah, it's a really unique idea and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, to be honest, when we did it, it had a reaction when it went up, and then it went quiet. The best thing the council could have done was Fred take it down, because it just got double its worth, really.
Yeah. It's great to have that backstory with it as well, though. The pub one of the pubs that you started out at as well, and right, so all part of the history.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, excellent. Well, that's all good, mate. Covered everything I wanted to cover. I'm absolutely delighted that everything's going as well as it is for you. And we'll finish off at Bloodstock because I think I know that Massive Wagons weren't at Bloodstock last year, but one of you wasn't there? Because Bowser was there, wasn't he? Bowser was there doing his strongman.
Strutting around in his lycra. Look at me and my muscles. That was it, yeah.
So, yeah, I can't remember what we call it now. They had a riff on Metal to the Masses, but I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah.
Let's say Metal to the Massive, because that fits. That fits in both. Metal to the Massive, because it fits in with the band and with his weight. So he looks like he's doing all that then.
Yeah.
That fits in well with the album cover as well, with all that as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. He's doing really well. He's a grafter at it, fair play.
Indeed. Cool. Well, we'll leave it there, mate. And thanks for talking.
Okay, Paul.
We'll finish off with another song from the album. So you can take your pick. Then obviously we've already had Verdun on. So take your pick, and we'll go out with that, and you can introduce it for us.
Well, I'll tell you what. Then we'll have Sunshine Smile, because that song is written about being at festivals. It's about being at festivals in summer with your mates, watching bands. That's essentially what that song's about. So roll on Summer and Bloodstock and Sunshine Smile.
Cool. All right. Cheers for that, Barry, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers,
mate.
Paul. No worries, mate.
it's Yari from Winterson here, and you are listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Okay, so that was our mammoth chat with Barry Mills from Massive Wagons. Keep an eye out for those tour dates, folks, and if you haven't seen Massive Wagons before, or even if you have actually, I highly recommend checking them out, as they really do put on an exceptionally good live show. Proper good old balls out rock and roll, and who doesn't love a bit of that, eh? Okay, before that interview, we also had our Metal to the Masses roundup with a Heat 1 update from Bristol and a preview of the South Wales campaign that's coming up soon. And I believe that a few of our Metal to the Masses regions have had a few bands drop out, so there may yet be some availability around. I believe that Hitchin have a space for their first heat on February the 10th, and Nottingham have had a dropout for February 28th, and Leicester need a replacement for April 21st. And of course, several other regions are still recruiting bands to take part, so if you fancy a crack at getting to Bloodstock, keep an eye on the Metal to the Masses Facebook group, that is Bloodstock Metal to the Masses Official, for all the details of where these events are happening. And please do remember that these events benefit more than just the bands. It's as much about encouraging the venues and the promoters as much as anything else. And when we've got music venues closing left, right and centre in this country, then getting packed out nights like we saw in Bristol and Essex last weekend for the first heats can only be a good thing. And of course, the quality of the bands just keeps on increasing year on year. And you could be seeing the headliners of tomorrow setting out on their journey. So please do try to support these Metal to the Masses events if you can. Okay, we're going to finish off tonight's show in exactly the same way as we started it, with music from some Bloodstock 2019 bands. And I will just let you know, for those who didn't spot it, that Vicky was teasing everybody yesterday morning by tweeting that she was picking the song for the trailer for the final headliner announcement. So it seems that we will soon be hearing who will be following our special guest Anthrax for that Saturday night headline spot on the Ronnie James Dio stage. But two bands that will definitely be there are Powerwolf on the Friday and Soilwork on the Sunday. So we're going to finish off with some music from both of them. Firstly, we'll hear Powerwolf with Fire and Forgive from last year's album The Sacrament of Sin. And then we'll follow up that with a song by Soilwork that I can't pronounce, that features on their recently released album, which I also can't pronounce. But fortunately, we got a few words about the song from their lead singer in between, so that lets me off the hook. Okay, so this is Powerwolf, followed by Soilwork. I've been Squatter, this has been Bloodstock Radio. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Band announcements.
We
Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the song Stille Vogel. It's a quietly bombastic song about the fact that humanity is able to fly, which is quite something in itself, and how fragile we become while pursuing our dreams, letting the air carry us to places where we've always dreamt about, and the realization that you're still the same, that you've carried all your hopes and grievances with you to the other side of the world, and that you'll never get rid of them.
fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.